At last. This is no travelogue, but at last, somewhere where nobody comes to show off. Righty-ho. Peace. I have no intention of being some Russell Brand, sage, whatever. But, so, March 2020, April 2020, even our dubious then great white-haired, or whatever his hair is, leader was saying, well, at times like these, in this crisis, families need to stick together. And that was actually, they need to combine and support each other. Now that's quite a scary thing to hear in Britain. It's like, well, you don't hear that. I'm one of millions of people who, well, when I heard that, it's like, yeah, okay, that's good. Maybe some good will come of this. Maybe for me personally, I will reconnect with functional love. But it didn't happen. This story, my story, doesn't matter. But, so in 2020, I'm like, new lease of life. It's like, wow, all the old crap might have somehow been replaced by some new kind of way of being. But what's the truth? For me and millions of others, this couldn't happen. Last night, and let's be crystal clear, the Russell Brand version, well, let's just be crystal clear about one thing. So last night, a mile away, I was listening to Doze Off late, to Crossing Continents, an in-depth, many-year exploration of a refugee boat in the Mediterranean sinking with 600 or 700, mainly Syrians, well, a range of brown people died on a boat. And I was listening to this investigation, story, exploration. Now, what you will not hear your Russell Brands say, and this is like, so 2 or 3 years ago I kind of cut loose. What is this society? This, I am not part of Britain, but what is it? And it is women who have to explain who we are. I found a couple of late who are miraculously open. Yesterday, speaking there with a woman. And then this is terribly important. Just a completely girl next door, well, woman next door, I think she's about 50. Woman next door, and really sweetly and softly spoken, but in a really nice way, not a two-faced. No, we had a good chat. It's like on the hill, there's a rule. You have a chat. If you private chat on a hill. Anyway, let's keep to the point. But she'd worked for the NHS many years in an office, and she said to me, and she wasn't full of anger or anything, but she said to me, it has changed. It's like 10, 20 years ago we could banter away and talk about anything. Not anymore. There's a load of things that it's like you're not allowed to really talk about. You're not allowed to be open and frank, and I could tell this woman was a good woman. Something's happened. So there's that. You can't say this, but that's one thing. But your Russell Brands can't. Right, just this the thing I was listening to about Syrians. You see, the journalists in there, because I'm afraid to say, are just younger communicators, are just pathetic. It's not their fault. They're pathetic, though. They can't say. I think they've been trained to blame somebody else. It's always about looking for blame elsewhere, which is exactly what Russell Brand does. Russell Brand would not assess 2020 in counterpoised with this talk on the Syrian thing. Okay, as these people, these Syrian people who left Syria and gone to work here and gone to work there. In fact, there was one young man or group, they're friends travelling. They'd gone to work in Libya and then they'd been ripped off. Here's the point. They had a family network via their phones to talk with. An uncle sent $4,500 to pay the people smugglers instead of leaving Libya and going back to Syria. No, go to England. Blah blah blah. But here's the point. They have these connections. They have these real connections. These real people. As their boat is sinking, they have, there's no question. Oh, for God's sake, try and. There was a phrase in it. Just a wisp of signal comes along. So they've got people to text and to tell. I'm dying. There are 2, 3, 4 million people in this country who can't communicate with their blood family. No fucking journalist, no Russell Brand will say, what the hell's happened here with us? It's not about blaming authority. What the hell's happened with us here? And that's... I don't think you're even allowed to... I don't know. Just saying something about that. Me? Because I couldn't give a shit for myself other than get healthy, be healthy in 2020. By the end of 2020, I was fitter and healthier and sexy asser than ever before. But now, everybody's stuck. And that's what the real stuck is. It's our society where we have so many rents in how it healthily should be. And Russell Brand will be going, oh, the refugees have been fucked over by the Greek Coast Guard. It's terrible, it's terrible. Now, at least they have somebody who they have genuine, alive, real, functional connections at a certain level. No brown society is healthy, democratic and fair and egalitarian and without prejudice. That would be absurd to say so. But it's all pity them, so blame them, with solidarity for them. When we are just... I'd love to, and I've been kind of exploring for a year, or 2 really, no, 7 really, what the hell is it in us? And you cannot, at least listening to Megan Dam's latest discussion with an American Wall Street Journal, or New York Times or Washington Post writer who's important, at least they're kind of honest. It's like, women have got to say something more intelligent, which is what I've known myself for 4 or 5 years. Anyway, at least I found somewhere just to not be no vibe. Yeah. I mean, it's horrible to say, but I don't want to say the following, but it is the truth that ever since 2020, just here I am. I've been a bloke for one reason or another. All of the 2000s with my daughter. Quite often, just finding places like this to just sit. I'll get a book out. I'll get notepads out. Sometimes I'll get my laptop out. And prior to late 2021, no one would ever take any notice of you. That was the deal. Since late 2021, and it's not nice to say this, but it is the simple truth. Classes C2 and below, anybody with sportswear, a beer belly, a shaved head, blokies with Grant from EastEnders kind of stubble, they all gawp now. All. And they would never, the deal was just, there's somebody there minding their own business, which I am the world expert at. But now, anybody coming by, they'd gawp. Places like around Helston and places like that, even in the great big car park there, they're gawping. You know, and it's all, this is all the chavvy shit television, sportswear, sport obsessed, vehicle obsessed, call them what you want, C2s and below. Oh, it's just so what? But it's not to be aside from them. Those I can kind of, well, I don't know what the fuck's happened with them, but it's the inability of the more intelligent people to say anything intelligent and useful. And your Russell Brands have some false kind of, oh, we're the victims of this, some great big whatever. Sorry, we, all of us in this fetid shopping aisle, septic dump, became the problem. Stop blaming power or whatever and say something fucking interesting, which nobody can do. And as I, like being nobody, sat here, that's what I am. I am nobody. Nobody. Just sat here being nobody for years, 30 years. This is my setting. Whatever.